Hey folks, it's Lev. Welcome back to another video. For those of you who are new, I'm using pronouns. And yes, I realized I've been filming a lot of videos lately. It's just because I have a lot on my mind and I sort of do this as a form of documenting my journey and where I'm at and my thoughts, as well as hopefully helping people in the process or adding some value to the lives of others. So it's for me and for y'all. Today, I wanted to talk about like emotions and feelings in general, and how I've been using it using it as fuel for growth. So this past week, actually, I've had experienced a lot of emotions, a lot of feelings. It's a mixed bag: frustration, anger, sadness, emptiness, loneliness, uncertainty. I think that's the biggest one: uncertainty. I don't know if that's an emotion or psychological state, but it's part of this whole package. It's been part of this whole package. I want to start off by saying that emotions, especially the more negative or difficult feelings to deal with, it's not necessarily a bad thing. Like when I was younger, I used to see these emotions as very bad, like anger of your it's bad to be angry, it's bad to be annoyed, it's bad to be, I don't know, sad. It's like I saw this as something very negative. It's like you shouldn't be experiencing these things, but I've come to realize that it's part of the human experience. These feelings are part of the human experience, and they can't be positives. Like, we can't always be experiencing these positive, good feel emotions and feelings all the time. Experiencing more challenging emotions is part of the human experience, and that's okay. And that's the first thing. I've also come to realize that there tends to be patterns to when these feelings manifest and the extent to which it manifests. So usually for me, whenever I feel like sad, like just like I feel happy and then I just crash completely, feel sad, empty, lost, frustrated, irritated, annoyed, it usually indicates that there is something bothering me deep down that I have not addressed yet. That's the sign for me. That's like the top of the volcano, the lava coming out of the top of the volcano, and there's something underlying it. So the feelings bit for me is the eruption on the surface, and the things that are going on deep down below are not like visible yet to me, or I have not addressed it, or I'm not aware of it yet. And I know this because every time I these feelings arise and I just try to get rid of it and like suppress it and distract myself from it, it will always come back. It will not stop coming. It will not stop haunting me until the thing, the issue underlying everything is addressed. Yeah. Finding the core and addressing it. That's what these emotions are telling me. You have to find the core of the issue and address it. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep coming and surfacing to tell you, hey, Lev, there's actually something going on deep down. You need to figure this out and deal with it. Otherwise, I'm not going to leave you alone. That's what it's saying. This is impossible, but if I only experience the positive emotions like happiness, joy, excitement, etc., and not sadness, frustration, anger, loneliness, all of the difficult emotions, more difficult emotions to deal with, I wouldn't know that things need to change, and my mind and body will not be communicating to me something has to change. You can't keep doing this. If I just only experience positive emotions, I would just I don't know how I feel if I only experience positive emotions my entire life and not experience the more harder stuff. Like I don't think I would be where and who I am today, to be honest. It's just it's part of my journey, and that's like okay, and it's part of everyone's journey really, and that's okay. Back to this week for me. So all of these negative emotions, I mean, the more difficult, challenging emotions, it's telling me you can't keep doing what you're doing. You have to change something, even though this change is hard and you don't want to do it, you're gonna have to do it. The situation is I've been talking to someone for a while, and right now they're going through a lot of stuff, like personal stuff, so they're not as talkative. And I've grown so used to the consistent communication between us, and then suddenly it's gone like dead quiet, and I really don't know how to deal with it. And that's why all of these emotions have come up for me, because part of it really triggered me because I have been ghosted a lot before, and I know this person is not doing this intentionally. They just need like time and space to like work through their issues and grow, but it still gets to me. And the thing I have to do is sort of step back from this connection and be like, I love you, but right now this is becoming toxic and I can't keep doing this, as in just like constant communication and then dead quiet. It's been quiet for like a week now, and I can't sustain this. This is not sustainable for me. It's comparable to like someone experiencing an alcohol, drug addiction, gambling addiction, any form of addiction really. The thing that people are addicted to, it gives them this euphoria, it gives them this high, it helps them feel like normal and balanced. And if they don't have the thing that they are addicted to, they experience withdrawal symptoms. And the withdrawal symptoms really depends on like what the addiction is, but it's just they don't have that thing anymore, and they don't feel normal, they don't feel themselves, because they've grown so used to this thing, and suddenly if it's just like suddenly stripped away from them, they don't know how to cope with it. And that's sort of the same thing here. I wouldn't say I've been addicted to this, it's just my brain has been wired to think that this is gonna keep going, and it's sort of become rely on this communication to like feel myself and feel balanced. And right now I feel really off balance because this thing I've been used to is suddenly like taken away in a sense. And again, that's why all of these emotions have been coming up, and it's telling me, Liv, you can't keep doing this, you can't keep doing this, otherwise my mental health is just gonna deteriorate dramatically, and I'm not gonna be able to function as a person. That's how bad these things can affect me. And that's why I have no choice but to take a step back and just like, we can't be in each other's lives at the moment. It doesn't work given what's happening right now. As for how I'm using these emotions to feel growth, firstly, it's telling me something needs to change, and I've used this to feel this change, as in take a step back. You gotta take a step back, because normally these things would be very hard for me to do, and these emotions have sort of unlocked triggered activated my beast mode that I don't really activate until I really need it, because my Liv's normal can't do it. And that's what I've literally done, is activate my beast mode, because it's more savage in a way than regular Liv. And then it's done the work for me. It's done now. And now I'm just sort of rewiring my brain to get used to not having this constant communication with this person. and give myself space to like actually sort of work on myself as well, because again, this is not working for me. Something important I learned as well from these experiences is that my needs are important as well, because I've always been the type of person to put other people first and put myself after the people. Yeah, I take care of others well. I don't really take care of myself well, and that's something I'm working on. And part of this taking care of myself is really about communicating my needs and taking action to meet my needs, although it may not be something I consciously enjoy doing, like taking a step back from this person, but it's necessary. And I'm really starting to learn that, because again, I've never really done this my whole life. I always put other people first and not myself. Sort of off topic to what I've been talking about, but I've also experienced fear, and instead of like letting fear control me and paralyze me into doing absolutely nothing, I changed my perspective on fear. Not recently, but ever since I became more confident in my own identity, I use fear to fuel change. Fear and frustration. Basically, I feel frustrated at my current situation or some aspect of my life that I'm not happy with. I use this frustration and fear, that fear of change, fear of whatever it might be, to actually take action and make changes, because I can only tolerate something to a certain extent, and there will be a point where I just burst and I'm like, I cannot take this garbage anymore. I have to change them. Again, it all comes down to, I can't keep doing this. The way things are right now is not working for me. I cannot just sit here in this situation and do absolutely nothing about it. And so like I use fear, drive change. Like an example that I mentioned in a previous video is like talking about intimacy and like intercourse and stuff. Like I'm much more okay with that stuff now compared to this time last month, because I was scared of it. Then I used fear. I'm like, I don't want to be scared of this anymore. I'm so sick of feeling this way. And then I just confronted, I'm gonna swear in this video, I confronted shit because I was sick of living this way. And then look where I'm at now. It's like I'm a better version of me. I'm more confident in this aspect. And again, I use fear to fuel this. Fear inherently is not a bad thing. It's really about how we see it and use it. If we see it as our enemy, then we're not going to be able to work with it to become better, really. We see it as our friend. It's just a motivator, I guess. I see it as like a motivator. It's an annoying one that really doesn't know how to communicate properly, but it is a motivator and something trying to push me to change nonetheless. So that's all the thoughts I had today, folks. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.